How's it? Hang loose, mongoose. New poll finds happiness at its lowest in 50 years. That's sad. This is one of those polls. Sounded like a little bit news. I went looking for the newspaper. Today's Saturday. They don't deliver papers on Saturday. They're saving money. I wanted to read this one anyways. This one's from Tamara Lush, Associated Press, out of St. Petersburg, Florida. So from Florida, folks in the U.S. are more unhappy today than they have been in nearly 50 years. This bold, unsurprising conclusion comes from the COVID response tracking study. Now, I know I got a sociology degree back there too. Statistics are facts on a low level, but statistics aren't really a great thing to rest your hat on, to really rely on. I think of statistics is giving you an overall idea of what's going on. And studies, and depending on, it's a study. So someone did a study out of the University of Chicago. I don't know, maybe the University of Cleveland has something different. No, but this is a serious study. They've been doing this for a while. Okay. It was down from 31% as the same, and so they compared it to 2018, last time they checked in. 14% of Americans say they're very unhappy, which is down from 31% from 2018. There was more unhappy people in 2018. That year, 23% said they often feel isolated in recent weeks. Feeling isolated. So this is a study of attitudes and feelings. Nobody asked me. Well, it went from 23% feeling isolated to 50% say that now. Well, duh, it's a lockdown from the freaking plague thing going around. Well, the ones that are trying to be safe. It's not the real plague, but it's a serious thing out there, so be safe. Study conducted in May draws half a century of research. It draws on, so they didn't do this research, but it draws on half a century of research from General Social Survey, which has been conducted in America every other year since 1972. So actually they took someone else's gigantic thing from 1972 and they added to it. They're really good. They don't know, half century, they'd be ancient, Murray. No less than 29% of Americans have ever called them, no less than 29% have ever called themselves very unhappy in that survey. So Americans, I don't know, all got all this kind of cool stuff in America and we're not so happy. Most of the new survey interviews were completed before, so this one, the new one, was completed before the death of George Floyd tragedy and aftermath, touched off nationwide protests about race brutality, added to the feelings of stress, loneliness that Americans were already facing. So that did it. That was like a trigger. The public is less optimistic today about the standard of living improving in the next generation. So they compare this survey with after JFK was assassinated in '63 and after September 11th, 2001 terrorist attack. Americans are less likely to report some type of emotional and psychological stress reactions following the virus outbreak. So they weren't as stressed as those things. Yawn. But here, this is what I did find out. Well, I kind of wanted to share this because of this. It's very, I don't know, touches home. First, fewer report smoking more than usual, which is smoking, crying, or feeling dazed, depends on what you're smoking, more now than after the previous two tragedies, JFK and 9/11. Though more report, so actually they weren't smoking more than usual, crying more than usual, or feeling dazed more than usual than those other ones. But here it is. Drum roll, right? More report losing their temper and or wanting to get drunk. So the thing that's on the rise is losing your temper and I want to drink over this shit. You know, I don't know, you know, I used to do the drink thing. I don't do it now. Thank you, God. And it's been a while. But I remember back in the day, if you're a drinker, you know, problem-like drinker, and you just want to drink, you just can't get away from it. Drink, obsession. And so anything is an excuse to drink. Here comes the virus. It's just like the Black Plague. Not an excuse. No excuse for that. But here we go. But about twice as Americans report feeling lonely. As in compared to 2018. It's not surprising. Given the lockdown, blah blah blah, of course, there's also been a drop in satisfaction. I can't get done with social activities and relationships. Well, that goes along with lockdown and isolation, don't it? Don't it? Yes. Compared to the lack of companionship versus 45% versus 21%. Twice as more likely to say lack of companionship and feeling left out. You know, I think a lot of that's because of population, not because of percentage numbers, but, you know, percent of 100. But the population of the world's getting up there, and that has a lot to do with stuff. People are not, it's not as functional, it's not functioning the same way socially, because the population is huge. Compared with Americans, compared with Brady BB. Surprisingly, okay, whenever they go surprisingly. What is a surprise? Senior Research Center at NORC. These are the guys that did the study. Loneliness was not even more prevalent. It isn't as high as it could be. People have figured out ways to connect with others. It's not satisfactory, but people are managing to some extent, unquote. Well, you're distraught about Zoom meetings. Toastmaster, Zoom, oh, okay. Very good. Okay. American satisfaction with families. Okay, so what about jobs, right? American satisfaction with the family's ability to get along financially was at a high as it's been over nearly 5 decades. Americans' satisfaction with their family's ability to get along financially was at an high over 5 decades. They're not losing out with the money. Happiness, money. So if you look at, well, yeah, see this example. Yeah, so I gotta do this here. I'm also keeping my audio. I'm doing a separate audio in case you catch another EVP. Because I'm looking for those things now. I'm starting to look at, I'm watching all those other Ghostbuster things too. He shouts out to those guys doing them, honestly. And he shout out to the busters, the debunkers. I'd say names, but I'm not sure if I'm supposed to do that. But I watch some of your shows, your hockey match, you know what I'm talking about. Okay. This guy. Blah blah from Austin, Texas. Said that the pandemic was laying off his digitally marked, so he is laid off. Caused him to reevaluate everything, and I had to reevaluate everything in life. I'm not exactly happy now, uncomfortable. He got laid off, so he's bummed out. Wah. Man, I know it can be bad, I guess. I got fired from jobs, but shit, I got laid off and fired off. But Texas, you separated Texan and their money, and they're gonna cry like a big old lone wolf. Okay, Melinda Hartland wait, before we get there, here we go. Another goodie in this one. So we're looking at happiness here. Which happy? See? Hey, go back to the U.S. Constitution. You know what I'm talking about? Look at that. What did Thomas Jefferson? Okay, there was this guy, John Locke. Life, liberty, and the pursuit and the accumulation of wealth. John Locke. Thomas Jefferson stepped in and it's like, half of these guys are farmers and they're not going to have like a ton of money like you. Big wigs, powdered wigs. So it's not always accumulation of wealth. Thomas Jefferson stuck in the pursuit of happiness. Life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Thank you, Thomas Jefferson. Pursuit. So be in pursuit. You gotta work at it. Happy. She writes, Tamara Lush writes about Austin laid off. Was he truly happy before the pandemic? I don't know. I don't know that. Yeah, here it is. 2020 fast forwarded a spiritual decay. In revved up mode. When things are good, you don't tend to look inwards. So that big economic growth chopped off what did Aristotle say? Or was it Socrates? Life unexamined is not worth living. That's nothing to do with suicide. Don't commit suicide over that. They made Socrates. It's not worth living. What is worth living is a life examined. Look at it. Word it that way. A life examined, like inner examination. But fast forward, spiritual decay. You don't tend to look at what all happening. And now here's the nice quote. This is from... Okay. Reimagining happiness. Like that? Like Imagineers? Like Walt Disney. Walt said that. Imagineers. Reimagining happiness is almost hardwired into Americans' DNA. I hate it when they say DNA over this DNA, that. It's almost hardwired into your DNA, into our DNA, into our American DNA. So we got different DNA than other people, and all our attitudes are pleasure-seeking. Yeah, I guess that's hardwired into DNA. Oh, anyways, reimagining... I'm butchering Sonia's quote, excuse me. Reimagining happiness is almost hardwired into Americans' DNA, said Sonia Lyubomirsky. Sonia Lyubomirsky, a psychology professor at the University of Southern California, Riverside. Oh, she's from the UC system, and she has a name like Lyubomirsky. I wonder if she went into psychology. I wonder if she's a PhD. Piled high and deep. Human beings are remarkably resilient. Oh. There's lots and lots of evidence that we adapt to everything. There are lots and lots of evidence. She's a PhD. PhDs are weird. I used to know so many PhDs. Some of them are cool, but there's lots and lots of evidence that we adapt to everything. We move forward. Well, that part of the quote blows. Reimagining happiness is almost hardwired into our DNA. I'm taking that. I'm substituting our for Americans because we're international. Don't be all national centric. That's just stuck up shit. Okay. Boy. Sorry, I'm trying to make this short. Melinda Hartline of Tampa, Florida. Now, Melinda was laid off in March. And she was a depressed daze for a few weeks of unemployment. Melinda got laid off. Hello, Austin. Melinda got laid off too. And she was depressed for a few weeks and feeling dazed. Bow! 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 High school rock band. Today, she started to bike and play tennis and enroll in a college course. And she's pursuing. You see? She's pursuing. She's not going, I don't got money, I got laid off. I don't got money, I got laid... I'm going to be saying that probably. I don't get money, that part. I don't get money. But she's pursuing her happiness. You make an effort and you go after it. I'm so preachy, aren't I? I'm not wearing my my little cross, in case you notice. Look at this. I got crucifixes everywhere. I love my Jesus. Our Jesus. You know, gotta be proactive with spiritual protection. Trust me. If you live in a place like this. Yeah. She started to bike and play tennis and roll in the cup. How's it? Batteries were exhausted. Which is hitting me to wrap up. This is bad. This camera, I don't know. You know, I checked the audio to picture and it was syncing. that whole long video did sync. So I'm putting some faith in this, but I'm also doing the double audio. Just in case. So where were we? Happiness, pursuit of happiness. Hardwired into the DNA, Melinda Hartline, who was also laid off, was dazed and confused for weeks of unemployment. Started to bike. Today she took her college course. The college course she took was post-crisis leadership. Uh-oh. We know who's going to be in the forefront of the zombie apocalypse. I'm telling you, if people go crazy, that's what's going to happen. They're going to be acting like the zombie apocalypse stuff. Hey, get away from me, don't have a mask. How's it again? No, that wasn't spooks. That was my battery being drained again. Those little rechargeables are not recharging. Okay. Pursuit of happiness. How's it? Oh, God, we're talking about Melinda. Oh, this lady. Okay. Melinda. She was dazed after being unemployed. Now plays tennis, finds getting enrolled in a college course, which was post-crisis leadership. Yes. That's where it's at. You get a course in, I don't know, painting or just whatever interests you. Follow your heart. Happiness tip. Today she's worried about the state of the world, blah blah blah, wondering if she can see her kids, but she's also realized things will be a lot worse. Anything can happen, she said. It's Melinda. Well, she's from Florida. Anything can happen there. Whether it's your health, finances, or whether it's the world, you have to be prepared. Amen, sister. I was a Boy Scout too. Once a Boy Scout, and I was never molested. I'll go on record there. I was never molested. Hoorah for the BSA. Yeah. So stuff in my head. I got to get it all out. I think I'll make these things kind of like a big, long bio of me and my weird thoughts, just to get it out of my head. And always maintain that positive mental attitude. It's going to get you through it. Well, yeah, don't worry. Don't worry, be happy was actually ripped off from an actual Indian Hindu guru. There's a Hindu guru somewhere in the sort of recent past, and he had this guru motto of don't worry, be happy. Yeah, so that's about it. Pursue your happiness. Pursue it. We're not in 12, we're in pursuit. So that's kind of like, I don't know, kind of like news, but it's kind of like related to stuff, but it's more like pursue happiness. One thing I would say is to face your fears with negative stuff, face that negative stuff, and try to find a solution. If there's no solution, just cut it out of your life. It's no bad shame on you, nothing on you. It's nothing on you. And you don't need stuff that drags you down. So you focus on the positive and go forward without being too belladonna. Pollyanna. Belladonna. Not too, watch out for that witch's bane. They'll drag you down just like people make friggin' it's the virus, I'm gonna get drunk. Wimps. Go, you know where to go. Find yourself a meeting. Get yourself a sponsor. Make no excuses for that. We're tired of no excuses. It's simple but easy. So pursue your happiness, face those things, and then ditch them. Discover, discard, ditch that stuff. And focus on the good stuff in life. Whatever you focus on, it's. I had these tapes on visualization, Olympic visualization, where these Olympic athletes had this whole course, PhD stuff too, but it was the whole thing about visualizing. It wasn't like do this, do that, do that. They would visualize their whole pole vault or whatever. They would visualize it always. You visualize the good stuff, and your body just goes to once your spirit's there, your mind and your body, and it's pulling you towards that. So pursuit of happiness. Hang loose, mongoose. Aloha.